Kia ora. In this episode, we're zooming in on a powerful but often underused phase of employment journey, which is pre-boarding. That crucial window before day one can make or break a new hire's experience and their long-term success. Kia ora, I'm Carolyn Young, Chief Executive at Retail NZ. Today I'm joined by Sussan Ockwell, who's the Director of the Induction Company for episode 3 in our series around inductions. Welcome, Sussan.
Sarah, and thank you so much for having me back again.
It's great to have you. Look, we're talking about pre-boarding today, so tell us all about what is pre-boarding and why is it important for retailers?
Yeah, cool. So pre-boarding, or you can call it pre-start, doesn't really matter. It's everything that happens from the time they sign their employment agreement to their very first day in your store. And that time, I mean, it could be days, could be weeks, sometimes it could be months, depending what you've got. But that time is actually really critical for creating their engagement and turning them into a high-performing, highly productive employee. Really, that time also before they start is when hopefully they're excited that they've got this new role, that they've just scored themselves a new job, and they start telling everybody, oh, I've got a new job. It's at that point you want them to be a walking, talking ambassador for your company. So you don't just want them hiding in the corner, you want them to be proud. So that barbecue where they go, oh, I've got a new job, let me tell you. And so you want them to be that ambassador. So you want to equip them or empower them to be a great ambassador for you. So it's everything that happens even before day one. It's like, how do you treat them? And how do they feel about that? And reinforcing their decision is also really important. Maybe not quite so much in this current climate, but it certainly is a thing once they've signed an employment agreement to reinforce what a great decision that was. And you are a great company for them to come and join. And you can't wait for them to come and join and be part of what you're doing and what you're about.
So we were talking earlier about a feel-good gift. Can you explain a little bit more around what do we mean by that
Yeah.
and how does that play out in the environment?
Yeah, cool. Okay, so because that time is so critical, we really want to do what we can do to inspire them, motivate them, or just engage them and align them with
Mm.
your company, with the role, make them feel good about that. So one of the things that a lot of companies do is provide or send out to their home address some sort of welcome gift. Now, before you go, yeah, hold on. Let me give you a couple of examples, and you can think about how that might relate to your company, to your store. So it doesn't have to be costly or anything like that. So the concept is to have them feel good, have them as a step in their welcome process. So not give them something when they arrive on day one. This is like before they arrive. So some people do day one once. I'm suggesting doing it beforehand. So they get it at home because we want them to be an ambassador. They get some little gift and they talk about it. They got even more to talk about. Now, some of the examples here. With a stationery company that we worked with, we would what we recommended to them, what they implemented, was a $20 stationery voucher. And you go, oh, $20. But what's actually the cost of the stationery that you might be giving them under this $20
Mm.
voucher? What we're doing in there, you can put as many parameters around that as you like. It could be that they need to spend that before day one. That's so you're actually getting them into a store. It could be rather than go to our store, you have to go to a different store if you've got a chain or a number of stores, so you can feel that one. Or it might be you want them to come into your store before you've started because that's what you want. Or it could be that while you're doing that, here's a little light mystery shopper, a set of little questions, so that you're more in tune with the experience and you can bring that learning back in and we'll debrief that on day one. So there's lots of things you can actually do. And so if you think about the cost of that for stationery, maybe $20 voucher, maybe it's $10. But what you got is got them involved, got them participating in your brand and in your products, in your service experience or whatever it is that you're trying to do before they started. It's actually like very cheap training. Look, you might not like that sort of approach, like giving away your goods, because sometimes that just is not going to work for you. We're not a retail store. We just send out a bottle of champagne, and we might also send out a branded item that we used as a Christmas present. Another example, just to keep you thinking, is when we worked with an airline company, they obviously can't give away free flights or anything like that. And they just, so what we did with them, and like stores, often you provide a staff discount for once you're working there for a while. After 6 months, but how do we make that tangible and inspiring? So we actually turned it into a little printed boarding pass.
And especially because at that point in time, they're really inspired about coming in and joining you. You know, whenever you're going to start a new job, you're at one of your peak periods of excitement about going into that new environment and your new opportunity. So
Absolutely.
tailoring that alongside a feel-good gift, get somebody bouncing through the door on day one. So really great practical advice. But do you
Yeah.
have some other practical tips of creating engagement and alignment before a new employee starts?
Yeah. So what we want to avoid is them signing the agreement and no contact right up until their first day. It's like, oh, hi, you came, sort of thing. So we want to keep some sort of contact going because did you know that engaged employees, research shows from Gallup, if you know Gallup, they do a
Mhm.
lot of HR type research. Their studies show that engaged workforce actually perform an additional 20% higher than unengaged or even disengaged. It's just that little bit of extra effort or the little bit more care or the little bit more happiness that gives a little bit better service. All of those things add up and translate. So you want to be developing that, not coming cold on day one. You want them to be developing that right before then. So what else can you do during that time to continue to sort of communicate with them and build up their engagement really before day one? So what we don't want to do is send them like 8 or 9 emails of paperwork and bits to do this, and now look at this and reread this and today. So the whole email-y thing, there's normally a phone call from the manager or a buddy or something like that. So that's nice. But we can also think about things like what would inspire them or get them aligned with a purpose. It could be the founder's story. It could be some really interesting facts or stats about the company or about the store or the products. It could be the idea of the CEO or GM or founder just doing a little video clip. The other thing is really to help them be ready for day one. So everybody has day one nerves. It's like, what's it going to be like? Am I going to get overwhelmed? Are they nice? Do I know what I'm doing? No matter how experienced you are, you're in a new role in a new place with new people, and they do it differently. So what is there that you could help them prepare for, even in the more personal type things, not necessarily the role type things, before they get there? So one of the things, best practice would include what we typically wear. Um, Something that people worried about is like, oh, should I bring my lunch or do we all buy lunch? Is it okay if I bring my lunch? And if I know that they've got the toaster and the microwave and the things for me, that's awesome because then I don't have to spend money every time. So it's like, what are some of those norms or expectations or, oh, look, most people catch public transport because there is no parking, or, but if you want to park, there's one over there, early birds, $20 a day.
Fantastic. And so how can Induction app help retailers to do that easily?
Yes, well, Induction app has actually been made for retailers, and what it can do is help digitize and streamline their their pre-first days, but then their first days, weeks, and months. And what that does is embeds consistency of practice and of key messaging. It allows you to track not only their engagement, which we know leads to higher performance, but also to track their progress, like how are they tracking on through, and also compliance. If you've got compliance stuff and you can actually capture that that has been knocked off. And truly, the whole thing is making it easy for you as a retailer employer, but also making it easier and better for your new inductee so that they get more engaged, more productive, and want to stay with you because you're a really good company.
Amazing. Look, really makes a lot of sense to have that engagement with someone just before they've started, to find a way to make them feel at ease, to give them some practical tips. And I like the idea of, either being a mystery shopper with a competitor or doing something with your own store, and even just a small value. It gives them the opportunity to get in and see what is it they're going to be representing and how will they do that and on their first day. So really useful. And I think those simple things about, we've got a microwave, we've got a toasty pie machine and a toaster, and we've got a coffee machine. So anything else you
Mm,
need, just pop it in the fridge and, feel free to make yourself at home. That can just take that tension out of day one, can't it? When you just don't know anyone or how to fit in. And so it just gives you that
mm,
little bit of thing to feel a little bit more comfortable. So really great ideas, and to be able to track that through an app makes it so much more structured and streamlined, so that you know that
yeah,
everybody's getting a really good experience. So I really wanted
yeah.
to thank you, Susan, for joining us today. It's been such a pleasure to speak with you and hear how retailers can improve their staff onboarding experience to minimise team turnover and use an induction app to get the best outcomes for them. So I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to visit our partner page to see the special offer we've got with Induction App. So go to retail.kiwi/partners and you can find Induction App on that page. This is part of our Empowering Retail series, your go-to resource for short, actionable insights designed to take your retail business to the next level. Watch out for other episodes and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, ka kite anō. Bye for now.
It's Anna.